He never imagined. The man in front of her faced a peerless beauty like herself. He could completely ignore her temptation, even if she seduced him. The man was unmoved. Instead, he disliked her poor sleeping posture and left the tent. What surprised Jenny even more was, this man regarded as trash. His work efficiency is particularly high. Projects that others cannot finish in years, he can finish in just half an hour. But if asked to kill monsters, he would rather choose death. Simply put, Jack is invincible in all aspects except fighting. Not long ago Jack was a member of an S-rank adventure squad. Because he could not provide damage in battle, the captain kicked him out of the team mercilessly. Jack had no choice but to accept reality. To make a living, he came to the guild to look for work. However, testing is required before looking for a job. From the weakest G rank to the strongest SSS rank, and adaptability represents the talent level endowed by God. The strong can cut steel even with a branch. But Jack's combat adaptability turned out to be the lowest G rank. This means he cannot perform any combat. Looking at Jack's pitiful appearance, the receptionist had to introduce him to a temporary job repairing outer walls. The foreman looked at Jack's delicate skin and tender flesh, intended to make things difficult for him on purpose. Let him paint the wall for 3 hours first. Little did he know Jack's next operation would shock the foreman for a lifetime. Used only 3 hours. He finished the workload of others for 10 days, and the repaired wall was stronger than new. The foreman had no choice but to let him stay. 3 days passed in a blink. Under the threat of all workers, Jack was fired by the foreman, because if Jack was still there, others would not find work, although Jack enjoyed it. But the moment he was fired again, his mood instantly fell to the bottom. Helplessly Jack had to return to the guild to find work again. Just met Jenny, who wanted to recruit miners. Jack immediately stepped forward to ask. After all, he had experience helping mining in mines. Even though Jenny wanted strong dwarves, but suffering from lack of manpower, she agreed to Jack's application. Just like this, Jack set off with Jenny. In a blink of an eye, Jack and Jenny arrived at the destination. But because there was only one tent, the two were forced to sleep together. As night fell, Jack eventually had to face the situation of a lone man and widow. Nervous Jack could only awkwardly choose to pretend to sleep. Looking at the beauty lying down defenselessly beside him, Jack panicked completely, afraid that he would make a big mistake on impulse. So he carried his bedding roll and fled the tent overnight. Little did he know this was actually Jenny's test. Once Jack dared to have half a bit of improper thoughts just now, he would have been cut into pieces by now. The next day, Jenny, who just woke up, was surprised to find the button that fell off her clothes was actually sewn back. What shocked Jenny even more was, initially Jenny only hoped Jack could dig some scraps, but Jack suddenly picked up a rock on the ground, casually struck down with a pickaxe, and knocked out a superb crystal the size of a basketball. Completed half of the goal as soon as he started. In less than a while, Jack got a pile of crystals. Even more ridiculous is, Jack even purified the crystals. Even the chief court alchemist would need to spend at least several days. However, Jack used only a few seconds to cover up Jack's heaven-defying ability. Jenny decided to hire him for a long time. The two originally wanted to come to the wild to live in seclusion. As a result, Jack built a residence for her in the blink of an eye. Meanwhile, that S-rank squad that kicked Jack out was experiencing the darkest moment of life, clearly a top configuration of all elites. Now they could not even beat a normal dryad. The incompetent captain could only vent his anger on the newcomer. What the captain didn't expect was, this infighting was just the beginning, because he ate Jack's food every day. He could no longer eat food from other chefs, making trouble in restaurants every day. He was naturally wanted. And how painful the captain's side was, how happy Jenny's side was. Since having Jack as a partner, Jenny's worldview was rewritten. Others spent the whole afternoon just to dig a piece of ore with difficulty, but Jack used the same time to build a mine directly, and dug a large basket of valuable rare ores. Even the legendary god metal was not a problem. Jenny was curious, isn't this metal only available in S-rank veins? However, Jack stated although god metal is scarce, but just dig 7 kilometers underground to find it. However, this was not what shocked Jenny the most. The sun suddenly shone on her face from the other side of the mine. This also meant Jack had dug through the entire mountain range. Just like this under Jack's god-level excavation technology. Used only 2 days, ended the workload of several months ahead of schedule. Since selling ores takes some time, introduced by a former teammate, Jack found a job in a workshop. Result, after arriving at the destination, Jack suspected he was cheated. He was actually recruited to be a cleaner. Jack just entered the kitchen, used only half an hour to clean up the garbage dump. He wanted to find the employer to ask about the next work project, but unexpectedly bumped into a girl changing clothes. This person was the kingdom's third princess, Lucy, but Jack saw the curse on Lucy's abdomen at a glance. However, Jack just took a look, then turned and walked into the kitchen. He thought the girl was just weak, so he carefully boiled a pot of special porridge, served the porridge to Lucy. But when the princess ate it, a miracle happened. The death curse that even the archbishop could not untie was actually purified by a bowl of porridge. At this time Jack did not know yet. All his skills except fighting were all the highest SSS rank, but Jack knew nothing about this. He only knew he lost his job again inexplicably, so Jack began to find a new job in a hurry again. Hearing the adventure squad here needed a porter, Jack immediately rushed up to sign up. Initially the team members looked at his weak appearance, thought he was joking. Result, the next second, Jack lifted a 200-pound strong man.
待て俺は鎧を装備しているから150キロはあるんだぞ2人合わせたら200キロ超え
After joining successfully, everyone soon arrived at the destination. On the way they encountered a goblin. Although they killed it quickly, but before dying, it still sent a signal to companions. Hearing the roaring nearby, they immediately judged they were surrounded. Just when everyone was helpless, Jack found a secret door. Everyone split into 2 groups to enter to seek survival. Unexpectedly encountered the legendary S-rank steel giant dragon inside. This thing is invulnerable. Sui could only pray for divine help. On the other side, Jenny and Lucy had merged. Upon learning Jack had gone to the East Cave, Jenny turned pale with fright. It turned out a subjugation training was going on nearby. There might be a large number of surviving goblins hiding in the cave. Because of worrying about Jack's safety, soon they also came to this cave, found the adventure squad surrounded by goblins. Perspective turned to Sui's side. Just when Sui thought he was dead for sure, Jack walked towards the monster calmly. He thought the monster in front was just a huge ore. Relying on his SSS mining talent, the steel golem that even forbidden spells could not blast open was easily disassembled by Jack like this. Here the big battle just ended. Jenny also arrived just in time. Soon she also sorted out the current situation. Although she knew Jack was very special from before, but it still exceeded her imagination.